Welcome to your feature presentation. Today we break down Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Big update for Alien fans. Alien Earth Season 2 has begun filming.
Zach Cregger's Resident Evil movie is going to be completely different than all the other movies. We are getting so hyped for this. Get ready. Here we go. Did you hear Alien Earth Season 2 is officially filming?
Yeah, dude. That's incredibly exciting.
I'm so excited for this. Yeah, do you have any thoughts of what you want the season to be, or any kind of that kind of excitement?
If any of our listeners were around for our post Alien Earth shows, they'll remember that the finale was a bit lackluster for us.
Yeah.
However, it was lackluster because we wanted more. So there were beats of the story that maybe we didn't really pick up on, but it was so good.
Yeah,
it
it
was good
great.
to have Alien. It was good to have original characters and an original story. It was fun to have a director enter a showrunner enter the franchise with fresh ideas and new takes on stuff, new takes on xenomorphs and xenomorphs and how they operate. What would you say? Plural xenomorph?
Xenomorphs. I feel like it'd be something weird, like a xenomorph or something, like the zen, like a.
You're changing the beginning of it.
Yeah, something odd because it's real weird like that. Dude, I also love too that it didn't have to have a xenomorph for it to be a good episode, but then we still got the one, was it episode 4 or 5 that was on the ship, and it was basically like a mini Alien movie.
Yeah,
with the
episode
xenomorph.
5.
Yeah, and that was such a fun one. But then all the monsters, the eye, I can never remember, the eye with tentacles. What was that? The Oculus? Ocellus.
Oculus.
Was it
Oculus, Ocellus,
something like
whatever
that.
You want to call it.
Stole the show. The eye squid thing. It was terrifying. But I was like, this is so cool too, because Alien is it's so much bigger than just a xenomorph. It's just so much bigger than Ripley, So it's just cool. I love the series. I know you love it more than I do, even because, but it's so fun. I'm so glad we're getting a season 2.
It really seems like we're in the heyday of horror right now. Alien Season 1 was really, really good. We're getting Alien Isolation 2 in a few months / a year.
Yeah.
So it's really encouraging that Alien Earth Season 2 is continuing, and we're going to get some more. Find out what's going on with Boy Cavalier in the cage and all of those hybrid people robot, like Wendy. That's going to be really interesting. So I'm pumped.
Dude, yeah, it's going to be great. And Noah Hawley was the showrunner of that?
Yes.
I believe he's still the showrunner of season 2, but he's also doing a Far Cry TV show. Did you hear about that at all?
Oh, interesting.
If we could do like a rural America, like martial law kind of Civil War thing, that'd be a sick show. I'm all about that. Kind of like a, not post-apocalypse, but like a Fallout thing where just stuff is weird, but that'd be cool.
So many video games being adapted into TV show and movie. The Far Cry video game adaptation reminds me of the movie that's coming out soon-ish, which is the Resident Evil movie. Because Far Cry, I feel like, you correct me, I feel like Far Cry and Resident Evil share you start base level and you build up your character slowly. You get new weapons and new guns, and you find new things to unlock areas. I think they share those things. And you've actually played the Resident Evil games, so
Yes.
You might have more of a word on that. But Far Cry excites me the same reason that this new Resident Evil makes me excited, because that was kind of the director's word on what kind of movie are we going to see. He's like, I love the nature of a Resident Evil game where you start with nothing and you build up to just shooting freaking monsters and zombies in the face with a shotgun that you sawed off. That kind of stuff I'm all about. So
I did want to talk about Resident Evil as well, because I think that's the next movie that I'm excited to see. I don't know. The Dog Stars is also going to get me too, but I just keep thinking about upcoming movies. Resident Evil, let's just break that down real quick. So Zach Cregger is doing Resident Evil. He's directing. And I think this is the first thing that got you excited about this movie, because you heard another Resident Evil. You're like, okay, they're kind of like almost a B quality, full budget zombie movie.
yeah.
And I love them. I love the original movies, but they're so they're so fun. I have a special place in my heart for them, but I would say they're not like elevated horror. They're not the top of the line stuff. It's not obsession kind of quality. But Zach Cregger, so the last things that he's done is Weapons and Barbarian. Those are the last 2 movies that this guy has done.
Incredible movies.
I mean, amazing. Like, I mean, I just told my cousin the other day, go watch Weapons. You'll love it. He loves that kind of thriller horror stuff. And he texted back. He's like, that's the best horror movie I've seen in years. And I'm like,
Yeah, good.
this was before Obsession. But I was like, 100%. Yeah, it's amazing. And then
That's cool.
Barbarian before that was just, I mean,
So original, so entertaining, so scary. All right, so correct me if I'm wrong. Again, I'm using this phrase a lot this episode. The Resident Evil movie that's coming out does not have any characters that we know of so far from any of the video games. This is an original modern day story in the Resident Evil world.
yeah. So basically, I want to do a quick rundown. So there's a fly on me. My goodness, where did flies come from? I don't think there's been a fly inside this house yet, so that really threw me.
Your first fly.
My first fly. You never forget your first fly. Okay, so Zach Cregger, he's never seen any of the Resident Evil movies, but he has played, I think, all of the video games, and he's a big fan of 4, which is, if you're a Resident Evil fan, that's a great answer. That's probably my favorite. There are some hardcore people that are like, no, 2 is the best, but like Resident Evil's crazy. If you guys don't know about Resident Evil movies, how it started off as like a fixed camera game. So like you walk into the room and your guy is 3D, but you're walking in the room and the room doesn't move. Then you go through the next door. And so like, and then Resident Evil was the first one that kind of put it as like a more of a third person stuff. And what I love about it was so terrifying about Resident Evil 4 is that, like the other games, but like you have to stop to aim. You can't run and gun. So when a zombie's coming at you, you have to stop and aim your gun at it. So you can't back up. And it just, something that was so fun about those games is, this sounds so like funny, but the organization, like you have your briefcase that you can check, and you can just like, you can consolidate ammo stash, like which gun goes where. You can only hold so much stuff. And the survivalist aspect of it is so engaging, and it's so fun because you're like, wait, should I get rid of this? Literally sometimes you're like, should I get rid of the grenade, or should I keep an extra health thing? And like, that's a fun kind of thing because you're like, this is limited resources and you're trying to get through this game. So that's such a fun part of that. The director has said he loves that aspect of the game. And he's like, I haven't seen any of the movies, but what I've seen from trailers is it doesn't seem to be that way. And he's right. They're action zombie movies, you know? And so he's like, the survivalist horror in the snow is such a cool vibe. And I reached out to them because like, I love these games. I want to do this. So yeah, you're correct. As of right now, it's stated that this is not Leon, this is not Barry, this is not, Chris. These are not the primary like people you follow in these games. I'm hoping they're not going to do the same thing. The cliche movie take where it's like the guy at the end of the movie is like, "Hey, Johnny, hey, we've been through so much together. Call me by my first name, Leon." It's like. I hate that cliche. So anyways, I want to play a clip from the director right now talking about this.
I went to them. I went to Constantine, who had the rights, and I was like, listen, I have an idea for Resident Evil, and bear in mind, I haven't seen the movies. I still have yet to see a Resident Evil movie. So I'm if that's okay. I only am really concerned with the games. So I went to Constantine. I was like, I haven't watched the movies. Please don't be upset with me. But they don't, what I see in the advertisements for the movies is not what I love about the games. And what I love about the games is the survival horror aspect to them. I like this slow, creeping dread. I like the idea of one person moving on their feet from point A to point B, and they have to enter a gauntlet and go deeper and deeper and deeper into hell. And I like the idea of starting with a pistol, and you have to keep track of how many bullets you have. Then maybe you graduate to the shotgun, and then you get a machine gun, and the world just seems hell-bent on destroying you, and you feel like you do not have enough resources to survive this, but you've got to figure out how to make it through. It just feels like there's a movie there that I have yet to see, and I want it so bad, so please let me make it. And they said yes, and so that's the movie that I...
How cool is that? Like, I don't think we've ever seen a thing because a lot of horror will just take the gun out of it. They'll be like,
Mm-hmm.
because, and that's an argument with a lot of horror movies is they're like, this could be solved if this guy had a machine gun, you know? But the fact that they're like, but the more interesting part is he has a gun, but he has limited ammo, and the enemy is that plentiful or that bad enough that like he has to watch it and he has to be careful how he uses it. I think that's such a interesting concept. I'm so excited, especially it's in the snow, horror in the
That's so
snow.
cool.
Such a cool aesthetic.
Recalling the Resident Evil movies, limited resources and survival horror is not in the genre that I would place those movies. I don't think of limited resources at all. I think of that one lady just walking down a hallway, guns blazing, and when she's done, she throws them away, Matrix style, 2 new guns. Gah, 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 gah. And like that's cool. It looks cool. It's a good genre, but that she does not count her bullets. She started with infinite guns and she will continue with infinite guns.
And there's something I love about that because like I think it's
Yeah.
Resident Evil Afterlife. She basically finds a clone army of herself, and they all have infinite ammo. But like the Wesker is like the main bad is just like such an intense, like it's like the Matrix. It's like it's a offshoot of the Matrix with zombies, and it's insane, but it's so fun. I love those. I still think we should do like a movie talk on all that whole series because it's so fun.
Great.
But I love how we're getting something completely different with this movie.
Oh yeah.
Amazing director, writer. He's given us nothing but gold, and I'm just like, oh, bring me. It is. I'm so ready for this.
I'm excited as someone who's never seen a Resident Evil movie either to just go see this movie. If the director hasn't seen Resident Evil, I feel like I don't have to go see all of the other movies. And maybe it would introduce me into the series, and I'll go back and play some games, watch some movies. That's a win. That's a win.
Let's do a deep dive into Spider-Man. I love this movie so much. I had
Yeah,
so
literally.
much fun. I told people in my review, I'm like, I can't be honest about this movie because I'm just so excited about it. I feel like I couldn't even look at it with like a critical eye, but at the same, then I'm like, who cares? I love this movie. And I'm like, I don't know. I loved it. I loved it so much.
I'm in love and I don't care who knows it.
I love Spider-Man. I just want to dig into every single aspect. But
Beautiful.
where are you at? Like, I think this is my favorite Tom Holland Spider-Man movie.
This is my favorite Tom Holland Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, I think that's a fairly easy. I mean, No Way Home was so good, but then at the same time, I love this aspect, but I think they got a lot of points from me personally just because it had Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield.
Yes.
And that's part of the movie. I don't want to detract that, but I think structurally as a whole, I think that movie is a little weaker. Still love that movie. And I think it's crazy. Each of Tom Holland's Spider-Man movies have gotten better. I think each one gets better. And this is the
That's
first.
so rare.
Yeah, it really is. And this is the first Spider-Man movie that he's made that he was not obligated to make. Like he's met his like 6 or whatever he was like contracted for. 6 appearances as Spider-Man. I think that's what it was. Or maybe he's already past that. But regardless, he was like, I want to make this and make it good. And I think he delivered. I don't think I could compare it to like Tobey's because I think previously Spider-Man 2, Tobey Maguire's Sam Raimi Spider-Man would be my favorite. And I'm like, I think I need to wait to watch this a few more times and then watch Spider-Man 2 again to even compare. I don't know, but wow, what a good Spider-Man movie. It was so fun.
Yeah, it's to be in the conversation of best Spider-Man movie overall. That's tough. It's might be up there. However, you have to consider that this movie is incredible because it reconnects to the MCU in a really meaningful way, and a lot of people positively resonated with that. They said this is a good example of seeing Bruce Banner. This is a good example of I guess full spoilers for us.
Oh yeah, let's
Spider-Man
talk
now.
about that, right? I think from this point on, I want to go full spoilers into Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Because it feels like I want to talk about every single aspect. Just full warning, the rest of the episode, is going to be about Spider-Man, probably. We might do some stuff at the end, but I just like full spoilers. So if you don't want to
So
be spoiled, check out now or jump ahead like 20, 30 minutes.
yeah, if you haven't seen Spider-Man yet, pause, like our videos, save it, download it, something, and come back later
If
after
you
you
haven't
see
seen
the brand new
Spider-Man
game.
yet and you want to pause this, mute it, let the video finish, comment on it, share it with your friends, come back after you've seen Spider-Man, watch it again, comment again.
Just watch our faces and try and guess the plot points. Bruce Banner, great example of seeing Bruce Banner, someone else that's been in the MCU for a long time, in a meaningful, logical way. It made sense. It didn't feel like a weird nostalgia bait thing. I felt the same way with Frank Castle, and I felt the same way with Jean Grey. Sadie Sink's character being one of the first genuine mutants that the MCU has had, if not the first. Correct me if I'm wrong.
There's one
My
in a TV
catchphrase.
show that's like that has
Well,
to be a mutant, but I do feel the same way about Star Wars. I think the TV shows are lesser canon to me. It's just like
they're lesser canon.
they're lesser canon. It's not GL canon.
This is the most meaningful mutant reveal, and definitely the first future X-Men that we've had. And it all made sense. It all felt very logical.
Mm-hmm.
So that pulls a lot of weight of the movie. The meaningful connection to the MCU again helps a lot. Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man movies were standalone. It was their own universe where Bruce Campbell could still do his cameos, and that one yellow car was always in it, and Sam Raimi was the GOAT. That was their own thing.
Yeah.
To be in contention, like, you've got a lot going on over here with the MCU and all of Tom Holland's Spider-Man movies,
Mm-hmm.
but to still have Spider-Man 2 from Sam Raimi be top dog is very impressive. I think speaks to how good that movie is. Anyway.
Yeah. It is. It's such a
Brand new day.
perfect, it's such a full story too. Like it's just like a complete villain arc. It's such a good hero arc.
Oh yeah.
Let's dive in to the villain, because that is a critique I'm seeing is people are like, once again, not a villain. I disagree with that though. I think we got a straight up villain in this movie that Peter let go because he's Peter Parker. Like he didn't kill the villain. And
Yeah.
I think he would have done that to anybody. It's like, okay, we have to ignore who Jean Grey, what we think she becomes, because we don't know that character
For sure.
her story. If we take just this movie's Jean Grey and we ignore who Jean Grey will become, we have to look at it. This to me looks very much like Otto Octavius, someone who is like a good intention character, started doing crazy bad things, and then Peter was like, let go, it's the Indiana Jones reached him for the cup, like just let it go,
Yeah.
And I think she chooses, it's almost a like letting go of her hate, and I think she just moves on and she just moves away. I think that's a villain to me, and I don't get the argument. I don't agree with the argument that there was no villain. I think we got a straight up villain. Now she might turn sides and become good, but later, which I assume she will because she's Jean Grey, but also Jean Grey is a very troubled hero too. I mean, we can't forget the Dark Phoenix of it all. So there's a lot going on there, but I was very satisfied by that villain.
Yeah, even if you take it as this is a new character, let's find out how they write this new character, or what do we know about the character from history. I think it's a meaningful villain.
Mm-hmm.
I think she is a great villain to have for this setting, especially when her motivations make sense. Because if Jean Grey is not, I would argue Jean Grey is not the genuine villain. She has been motivated. She is a villain in the movie, but she has not been motivated by herself and then twisted or something. She's been motivated by someone else to do all of these terrible things. So Metzger is
the corporate
a genuine villain. Yeah. Tillman is the actor's name. He's a great actor.
That's great.
He's from Severance, terrific show.
Nice.
But Metzger is the actual bad guy in the movie because he's experimenting on humans. And that's a great intro. Damage control as an institution and what Metzger's doing is a great intro to how people will treat mutants later on. This is a genuine build we are getting a new block added to the MCU that they will build on top of for literal years through
Yeah.
dozens of projects. Then that's what I want. That's the MCU that I like.
I can't quite
I
tell if you're being
like
sarcastic or not, but
I literally I love it. I'm not
okay,
being
good.
sarcastic. If you can build meaningful movies on top of each other and say, okay, back in Spider-Man Brand New Day, we had the first mutant experimentation torture place. It was
Yeah.
called Damage Control in New York City. It expanded as Jean Grey went out and more mutants popped up. The government's mind did not change, and they put more Damage Control-esque facilities around the country, around the globe, to capture these mutants that are popping up. That makes logical sense. And it feels the best as far as the narrative goes that it would happen over multiple movies.
Yeah.
Are you going to say, welcome to this movie? Now there are mutants. Mutants are everywhere and they've been experimented on. And now also we have a universal mutagen suppressant all in the first 30 minutes of a movie so that you can have an X-Men movie that feels meaningful? No, you have to start in previous movies and lay that all out. Then another thing, Peter being the guy that created the mutagen suppressant device that they will most certainly use against all of the mutants later, packs a real intense punch because he
Yeah.
is not going to handle that well. He
No.
will be absolutely down in the dumps when he learns it's his tech.
I feel like I can already see the scene where he realizes this, and it's already heartbreaking. Like just the
Yes, literally.
picturing Tom Holland be like, I made this, I did this, and
And hundreds are suffering because of it. Thousands are suffering. Yeah, it's going to be brutal.
vote Homo superior. But anyways, I think Magneto calls mutants that a lot in the
Yeah.
comics. Homo
Good
superior.
save. Good save.
This movie to me did a lot of things right, but you're right. I think kicking off the X-Men universe as a slow build out, this is exactly their plan. They're going to make an Avengers style team up movie. The first Avengers, and we got Thor, Captain America, and Iron Man, but they're going to be like, oh, this is the first X-Men movie, but we're going to get Sadie Sink's Jean Grey, and we're going to get like we're pulling those together, like that already makes it more exciting. Like they're already testing these things. And I think that's the best part too, because if Sadie Sink's character had flopped and done terrible, they could have just not had her on the beginning roster of their X-Men movie. Like these conversations have to get going. But now that we're like, I think her character was very well received. I think the only critique I've heard is that maybe she wasn't as villainous as people wanted to get. But I'm like, dude, I think all of Spider-Man's villains are sympathetic because he actually cares. He's not Iron Man who's going to actually like take people out sometimes, like, or the Punisher, obviously. Okay, and also I do want to say it wasn't even on my wish list, but having John Bernthal's Punisher, Tom Holland Spider-Man was a perfect mix.
I did really like it. Mm-hmm.
It was so good. I think their chemistry is amazing. They've done so many projects together at this point, and it's just like having the Punisher being like, I will kill the person no one else can because it needs to be done. And Spider-Man is the opposite and being like, we can save everyone, was such a fun, crazy dynamic. But just their character chemistry was so good. And it was just like, I loved it. I like I said, it wasn't even a thought in my head before this trailer. And I'm like, bring it.
Yeah, it was really well done. I liked that. I liked the constant pull. Every single character seemed like they were struggling against two parts of themselves. There's the obvious, very blatant Peter has lost what it means to be Peter Parker. So Peter Parker is essentially out of the equation. And he's for 5 years just gone full bore into Spider-Man. But now Spider-Man isn't what he thought it was. The Spider-Man that he had been for years, he can no longer be. And so there's a tension there and he gets pulled in those different ways. Down to Sadie Sink. She just wants her sister. She wants to reunite her family, the one piece of family that she has left. And she feels the pull into vengeance and violence because of that desire to reunite her family, to get her sister back and save that meaningful person. The Punisher, I think, is confronted. It's a very brief moment, but I think the Punisher is confronted in Brand New Day with his "I'll do it my way" mindset, and that it does not work.
Yeah.
And that Peter has a point. The Spider-Man, there's a reason he doesn't kill people. There's a reason he will die himself before he lets someone die on his behalf, because he was lazy, because he did something wrong.
Yeah.
And I think that moment happened when the Punisher took the shot,
Yeah.
said, "Fine, I'll do it my way. I'm going to kill the girl." And he ends up hitting friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, and he sees kind of real time the ramifications of choosing violence in an instant because you think it's a quick fix. And he has a minor reflection on it in the hospital room, and then Peter makes fun of him for crying, which I thought was kind of funny. But I really
Yeah.
would like more of that kind of Punisher
Yeah.
to be fleshed out later. I thought that was really cool.
You know, there was some people I saw complaining because there was this like Marvel release of like what you need to catch up on before Brand New Day. And everyone was so pissed that they're like, I just binged Daredevil season 2 or Daredevil Reborn season 2. And it has like nothing to do with Brand New Day. It's absolutely zero. And a lot of people did say the same thing for Punisher. The one-off, what was it called? Oh, One Last Kill.
One Last Kill.
And I do think too that it was really, to me, that like it was like a 45-minute little mini release, and it was basically just like the Punisher finished with the revenge of his family, and he's like, who am I now? And he's like, I'm still gonna fight the bad guys. Basically, that's basically
I'm still fighting for justice.
Yeah, his mental, that's where his like mental like process took him in that. So I think it's like, you don't need to watch it whatsoever. Like, if you haven't seen Brand New Day yet, just go see it. You've seen just the Spider-Man movies, go see it, and it's a great movie on its own. It's Spider-Man, just go. But it just adds some context. So another thing I loved is the Punisher fighting the Hulk. I'm like,
oh yeah,
I was like, I've wanted to see this. And I also love that Peter's like, way outside of your weight class, buddy. Like, what are you doing here? Get out of here. And he's like, yeah, because you forget, like, Frank Castle is just a dude.
He's just a dude. Yeah.
And it's like, you can't fight the Hulk.
Yeah. After they make that plan, and he goes, "It really sounds like you just want me to fight the Hulk and you take the teenage girl." He goes, "Yeah."
Yeah.
You're like, okay, that makes sense. Like, yeah, he's got a gun, but those slow-mo shots also of him sliding in and just shooting the Hulk. I love that. That was so cool. Yeah, the classic Bernthal. Raw.
Which brings me to like the fight choreography in this entire movie. Perfect. It was so good. It looked good. Him, and I feel like it was so Spider-Man. We haven't even talked about it, but like they did like that montage of all these villains he fought.
Yeah.
And it was comic book covers that they like recreated, and we got like Tombstone and some other classic like spider villains that were like, we're not gonna make a whole...
giggling. Arachnid, Scorpion, Tombstone. It was so cool. Dude. Wait, Arachnid, Tarantula? What's that guy's name? With the little hook foot. Doesn't matter. Part of my review that I posted right after the movie has been altered.
Oh.
Now that I've sat on the movie, I'm not a prideful man. My opinions can change, and I will admit that I'm wrong when I'm wrong. I said that my one con for the movie was that the music wasn't very good or very compelling for me.
Always hating on the music.
I listened. No, I'm not always hating on the music.
I just love it because you said that about the Odyssey and this, and I was just like, it's just like two of the biggest movies of the year. Like,
I was like, the music sucks.
Music sucks.
No, let me be honest with you. The Odyssey and Spider-Man are visually stunning for very different reasons. The Odyssey is a visual masterpiece. Spider-Man, I am eyes wide. What can I see? What's in the background? Who is that? It's Spider-Man. I'm like losing my mind. I'm giggling.
Yeah.
So I can't pay attention to the music. So I listened to the soundtrack. The music's great. It's very good. Michael Giacchino, started Homecoming, created a new theme. I don't know if you've heard this.
Yeah.
Michael Giacchino scored the Tom Holland theme from Homecoming, and he has done all of those Spider-Man movies since then. And there was an interview with him that I was watching where he said, a new era, a new day, etc. I got to make a new theme. I have to score a new theme for Tom Holland Spider-Man. So he kind of started and then he backed off. He's like, no, I don't have to do this. This is the same Spider-Man. It's the same Peter Parker. People just forgot him. And so if you listen to the main title theme of Brand New Day and the main theme from the other 3 films, Homecoming and the others, he took out notes from the Homecoming theme and used it for Brand New Day. So Homecoming is da 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 da, and Brand New Day is dun 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 dun, because he thought it would convey that how much Peter has lost, that he's feeling empty, that he's sad. And I just love that. I thought that was
Yeah.
so cool. I love those moments where creatives can see the big picture story and say the music is a tool to assist the narrative. I'm not
Yeah.
here to make a banger playlist for a movie. I'm here to come alongside the writers and directors and actors and play one part in this large orchestra that is a film. And I thought it was so cool.
I think there's a place for soundtracks that hit immediately and they make you feel something and just like drive the movie. And I think there's also a place for music that it was at a certain level, but then the more you learn about it, the deeper you go to those types of things, the better it gets, like further in, further up. And I think The Odyssey does that and this movie does that. Like when you learn, if you didn't catch it at first, some people caught it right away, but if you don't catch that it's a reimagined, deconstructed main theme, then you learn that elevates it for you. Same thing with The Odyssey. Like when they're like, oh, that was an interesting little melody you did there. It's like, yeah, did you know Ludwig built the instrument from old paintings and created this thing just to make that sound? And you're like, that's commitment. That's pretty cool. You know?
Another Oscar for Ludwig.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I would say Giacchino. You said it different. I can't remember what you said. But he did the Batman theme, which is so good. I love that theme. But he's done a lot of Pixar. So he did like the Up. He's done like a lot of like softer melodies, just like he did all the Inside Out, like all those types of themes, you know. So he's a great composer. But so the director I wanted to bring up of Brand New Day is Destin Daniel Cretton, and he did The Legend of the Ten Rings, Shang-Chi. And I love that movie. And I feel like most people thought it was like decent, but it just didn't get talked about a lot. And I'm like, why didn't we get more, you know, of that? And which he'll be in Doomsday, the character.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I feel like this was a way of getting another one of these movies. You know, they were showing fight scenes from that movie and be like, everyone, this is the director we're getting for Brand New Day. And that's amazing. And then this comes out and like, I think this is some of the best fight choreography I've seen in recent years from Marvel. Maybe
so
ever.
entertaining.
So good.
Every fight felt like it was packing a punch. Shang-Chi is one of the most underrated MCU movies. Criminally underrated, sadly underrated. That it is incredible. It's a really great movie, and no one mentions it. Not a lot of people mention it when they talk about some of the better Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Especially character introduction movies. If we're talking what is the best Marvel character intro movie, that's got to be up there, top 3.
And it's like people talk about, oh, everything sucked from Endgame. And I'm like, that's not true, though. There is some good stuff in there, some stuff I really liked in there. And for most people's complaints, like, oh, this is weak narratives. This is rehashed. Like, we don't care about these characters. Like, this is a new character. It's a self-contained story. It was fun. Like, I don't know. I think Shang-Chi gets just swept under the rug because it's in that era. And I think it is such a solid movie. And it feels like this is like a spiritual sequel to that movie, just because I think everything that they wanted to be or would have been is in this. And I mean, it's hard because I think Spider-Man is my favorite superhero. I think he's yours. He's such an easy guy to be on board with. And I think this is Tom Holland's best Spider-Man movie, but I think this is his best portrayal of Spider-Man.
Yes.
I also want to say too, I'm not the hugest fan of Zendaya. I just think it's hard with all these actors now because like Tom Holland, John Bernthal, Zendaya, like we're seeing them 3-4 times a year right now because they're all in these like the same types of the movies that we love specifically, right? And we're skipping some. There's like some rom-coms we're missing where Robert Pattinson and Zendaya
Yeah,
Like we'd
the
see all these
drama.
people again. Yeah. Um, but I think Zendaya's performance in this was really like I love her like Athena and I like her Cheney, but it's like this the moment where she's being possessed by Jean Grey and she falls
Hmm.
off the bridge or the
The
skyscraper.
building.
She
Mm.
falls back and she is confident in the I'm being the bad guy. I'm going to do this terrible thing and her face goes flat and then MJ comes back, realizes what's
So good.
happening and I'm like that is amazing. That is acting. And it's such a beautiful scene. It reminded me of the scene that I often talk about from The Hobbit. One of my things that I love about The Hobbit, Martin Freeman, when he kills that spire out of anger and is like, well, I think it's a spider. It looks more like a crab. I'm always like, that's not in the book. I'm not sure what's going on. That's another story. Some cousin of Ungoliant, maybe. But
Mhm. Yes.
it's this. He kills this thing out of anger and he holds the ring and he goes, mine. And then he looks at it
Yeah.
like with satisfaction. And then he looks at it with like kind of like shock. And then he looks at it with like dread and he like covers his mouth. Like, what did I just do? I just killed out of anger for a piece of gold kind of thing. Like, wait, what is this thing actually doing to me? Powerful scene. And it's like after he
Dude.
says mine, he doesn't say a single word.
Hmm.
And this Zendaya scene reminded me of that. It's just like
Yeah.
everything was right on the face. And it's just like, it's as obvious. Like, that's what makes good acting. But it's so cool to see such a tangible representation of it. It was
Mhm.
just flawless.
One of my favorite parts about this movie was the practical suit. Even when it wasn't practical, I think because Tom and his stunt doubles were in a practical suit for so many shots that when they had to do a full CG suit, a full CG Spider-Man for scenes, they had so much footage to build their essentially like digital copy off
Yeah.
of that it is flawless. I prefer Brand New Day Spider-Man suit over the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit, which was my favorite suit in any Spider-Man movie.
Wow. You like
Not
that
my
better than
favorite
Tobey
Spider-Man.
Maguire?
Yes. Yep. I think Andrew Garfield's Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit is the best suit that I've seen until I saw Brand New Day. And that's my favorite suit now, I think. It's
Yeah.
just, it's even more classic. I like the stylized eyes with kind of the frame of Andrew Garfield. He's a bit lankier, taller, and skinny, which goes along with some of the comics that I read when I was a kid. The type of Spider-Man that's funnier and less jacked, a little stringier and kind of flexible. Andrew Garfield reminded me of that type of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Tom Holland's is right in the middle. Everything seems balanced, like just perfect.
Yeah.
And I really, really liked it. I will say, however, my con has changed. I don't know if you have a con for this movie.
I've got a big
Maybe
con.
you have a big one.
Doesn't change
Here's
my
my
rating, but I have one thing
no,
that I
no.
really hated about this movie.
All right, mine's kind of short, so I'll go and then you can let us know.
Okay.
My con has shifted as I've thought about the story more to
Con! We need to have a sound bite every time. Like, all right, here's my pros and cons list. All right, here's my pro. And here's my con.
we didn't get to see Broke Peter, and that was a really big bummer. We saw Peter, whose landlord was really nice, who gave him an extra giant room up in the top, and we saw still a very tech-heavy Peter. So this version was much more street level, but he's 3D printing his suit. He types into his computer basically like, Evie, make me a mutagen inhibitor chip. And she goes, okay, run diagnostics. It won't work. Run diagnostics again. Print another one. And we got a lot less tinkering of the genius Spider-Man and more of
Yeah.
like he's still kind of relying on the Stark technology.
Yeah.
We don't know for sure if that's leftover Stark tech or if he built it. I think it would have been more meaningful if we had seen him building those things.
I
I
I
I would much rather see him
yeah.
sewing his suit together than 3D printing another one.
That's definitely something I definitely am on board with you with. And I think that's why Spider-Man 2 is always going to be such a good movie is because
Hmm.
of that. He's fighting crime so much that he doesn't have money to pay
Yeah, he
rent.
can't hold a job. Yeah.
And that is something that's so visceral. And he's just like, can I even hold like the love of my life? Because I keep doing all these, like, what am I prioritizing, and all that kind of stuff. But I will say I feel like they can't do that with Tom Holland Spider-Man because of the Avengers, because of like, that Stark has some type of trust set up for Peter to fund his tech. So it's
Yeah,
like,
probably.
even if it's not like a mansion, but it's like I don't think he can ever be broke. He could just go to Happy and be like, can I have 1 million? Sure, kid. Here you
Yeah.
go. It's like, um, and so I think it's from where he's at with the Avengers. I just don't know if that can be happen. I totally get that that would make a more compelling story, which is why Spider-Man 2, I think, still might be the best
Still
Spider-Man
the
movie,
best. Yeah.
but I don't know. Okay, my con is related to that because I hated the Yelena of it all. I I love Florence Pugh. I
Uh-huh.
love her character. I really do like this new Black Widow. She's fun. She's entertaining. Not as good as Scarlett Johansson's, in my opinion, but it's a fun character. But I'm like, it's
Mm.
dumb. And also, like, I saw like this meme of like the Marvel execs being like, "All right, I think Florence Pugh is going to be in this to push the new Avengers." And the one guy's like, "Put her in a bath." What? Like what? It's like put her in the bath the entire movie. Every time you see her, she's in the bath. It's like, oh, okay. Are you sure? Yeah. I mean, there was great. I love the scenes themselves. Like they were
Mhm.
funny.
Mhm.
Peter Parker coming out with a towel and the Spider-Man mask is like
And
perfect.
still in his underwear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's perfect. It's so funny.
Mhm.
But I hated the idea because Black Widow isn't like a barely enhanced human. And
Mhm.
she's like, you do the small potato stuff. I do the big potatoes. Like, no, this is flipping Spider-Man. And like,
Yeah.
what are you talking about small potato stuff? Like, this was such that should have been an Iron Man, a Thor, like a super powerful Avenger leader. I mean, even thinking of the Thunderbolts, there was other characters that would have had like like Bucky could have done that. I think maybe had a little bit more, but still not. Like Spider-Man one-on-one could beat all of the Thunderbolts. Except
Literally.
what's Pullman? What's Pullman's character from Thunderbolt? Like Sentry, right?
Oh, Sentry. Yeah.
I think that's the only one, but then like that wouldn't have fit maybe character-wise, but I think Sentry would be the only one that could actually one-on-one beat Peter Parker's Spider-Man at this
Mhm.
point. And it's just like, and I've seen so many jokes about that. You're like small potato stuff. Yeah. And it's just like shows all the Thunderbolts all trying to like lift that one rock thing. And
Yes.
then Peter
Yeah.
Parker's doing all this stuff. It's like the
Like
power of the
fighting
hero.
Thanos.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Fighting Thanos. And it's like, this is not, I just feel like that was such a cheap way of being like, well, they're in charge of the Avengers and the Avengers are the rule. It's like, no, they could just be off doing their own thing, or it should have been more like a Happy Hogan character, like which they've done before. But I just did not
That's
like
true.
that. Felt like so much like a hey, remember this is the Avengers right now.
Mhm.
I thought that was a kind of the weak part of the movie. I still like the scenes, and I think as time goes on, I'm not going to care that much. But I'm like, don't you Black Widow throughout time history? Black Widow is never telling Spider-Man what to do. Like, you're a small superhero. It's like he's the best superhero. Like he's often called the best superhero.
Yeah.
Like he's the biggest heart of all the superheroes. I don't know. It got me. It got me
I
riled up,
understand.
dude.
I understand. Yeah.
What did
No,
you
I
think?
I
As we're
think I'm
wrapping up, like what did you think of those scenes though?
I thought they were funny. If they weren't funny and another connection point for the MCU in a large scale, then I would have not liked them at all.
Yeah.
I think the purpose that she served was mostly comedic relief, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, when a teenager who you recruit to help you fight Thanos comes to you, like she was there to help fight Thanos, but the argument is the same. When a teenager who has helped fight Thanos with the Avengers comes to ask for assistance,
And also
you
he's in
don't
his
say,
20s at
I
this
think,
point.
yeah, he's like 25, 26. You don't say, I think you're actually small potatoes. I think you're actually not very important at all.
Yeah.
Or this isn't a big deal. It seems like it's a big deal because he spent the last 5 years not talking to you about and handling literally everything in New York City while you don't do anything.
Yeah.
So I was okay with them because they were funny, and I do like Florence Pugh, but it was a drag on the story a little bit.
The idea that she's calling the shots and she's in charge of the Avengers and she's treating Spider-Man like he's doing little minuscule stuff is like, what gets bigger than you? Like literally, like, Jean Grey is like holding all those people in hostage. Like there's an entity stealing minds that can just like stop anything. Like what is big potatoes to you? Thanos, and it's like he's the one that fought Thanos once again. So,
Right.
Okay, I've got a big question for you, Andrew.
Terrific.
Seeing Spider-Man Brand New Day, has that changed your excitement to going into Avengers Doomsday?
To be honest, it has not.
Okay.
It made me feel like there are two different MCU timelines happening right now. It made me feel like the movies that I've enjoyed, Thunderbolts, Brand New Day, or projects I've enjoyed, Daredevil, Born Again seasons 1 and 2, some Punisher stuff. It made me feel like those things are separate. And the main Avengers timeline is just oblivious, off into the distance. I liked Fantastic Four, and I know they're going to be in it. And it feels weird for me that they're in Doomsday because I don't understand Doomsday yet. And some people have said, Andrew, all you have is a teaser. You're not supposed to understand what Doomsday's about yet. And I
Yeah.
disagree with that. I think if you're going to tease a movie, you have to actually tease plot points.
Yeah,
you have to
tease
tell
the
me,
story.
here's why you should go see this movie. Other people say, Andrew, Dr. Doom was introduced at the end of Fantastic Four. I say, not after San Diego Comic-Con, because it seems like the character that was at the end of Fantastic Four is one of the witches of Latvia and not Dr. Doom at all, based on the helmet.
Yeah.
So, like, who is Doom and what is he doing? I'm still hesitant, and I will keep my word, listeners. I will. If I'm wrong about Doomsday, I will say it, and I
Yeah.
will apologize. I'm talking so much crap about this Doomsday movie. I'm going to see it eventually, and if it's good, I will fess up to it. I'm
Yeah.
not married to my opinions about a movie with Robert Downey Jr. or like a superhero movie or whatever. My heart tells me it's going to be bad. And if it's not bad, I'll be honest and I'll say, no, I was wrong.
I'm going to rapid fire a couple things that you said as we're over time. But Fantastic Four, I would not be surprised if we never see them again after these two Avengers movies. Like I don't know if we're ever going to see a Fantastic Four 2. I just don't think people care that much. Like I think they'll probably be in this and probably Secret Wars, which is the next Avengers movie. But I agree with you. I think it's like there's so many things that are like, just give us a reason. Because here's the thing. You could have not even seen an Infinity War trailer and still known what that movie was going to be about. Because every movie was leading up to the Infinity Stones, these gathering them. There's the gauntlet, like all these teases even. Like we still don't even know. Doom maybe wants to likes their kid is the only after credit thing. And it's just like I kept responding to everyone that was saying that. It's like, guys, this is just a trailer. This is just a teaser. It's not. I was like, we need a little story. There is no reason right now. So, I will also say this too. The ending credits of Spider-Man. Here, if you have a theory, I'd like to hear it. But I've got a theory. I think that showing Peter Parker was off-world. I do not think we will see the Spider-Man in Avengers Doomsday whatsoever. And I think what we're seeing is him on Battleworld in Secret Wars. So I think we're not going to see Spider-Man until the next Avengers movie.
Wow, now you got my brain spinning.
Yeah.
I'll say two things. What I want it to be is Spider-Verse introduction into
I've seen that theory as well. Because there's the glitches. Have you seen this theory?
There's a glitch that matches the glitch of the Spider-Verse. So what I want it to be is an intro for the Spider-Verse, bringing Spider-Verse in, connecting it with Tom Holland's MCU Spider-Man. Because the glitch matches the style that we see in the Spider-Verse, I think that is unlikely because I want it so bad. I can't actually put my hope on that.
Yeah.
What I assume is happening is Tom Holland's Spider-Man has to go to space for some reason. I was spinning ideas out in the car with my wife,
Mm-hmm.
and she goes, Andrew, it's probably the most reasonable to say the next Avengers movie is coming out in December. It's probably Tom Holland leaving Earth and going to wherever that movie is happening because it's not on his Earth. And I was like, oh,
No, I don't think so.
yeah, oh, you're probably right. Which would be a bummer.
Well, no, I think he's in Battle World, which is not the next Avengers movie, so it's the next one after that. But I've seen the glitch theory is that when it's doing that tracker thing, it glitches several times, and it's the same style of glitch and like the same colors as the Spider-Verse glitches. I would love that too. I think everyone who's even sick of like the multiverse saga, like bringing in Spider-Man variants, I think is still so fun. Like, I would not care if we're gonna get like the next Spider-Man movie is just a bunch of Spider-Man variants and like dealing with that. Like, I'm all about that. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna get Tobey Maguire in Doomsday.
Rumors.
No, I think it's borderline confirmed.
I don't even know at this point. I'm so confused.
Because Tobey can't keep a secret. He just doesn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
And so the way that people talk about his interviews, I've not seen a video interview of him doing this, but the way that people talk about him speaking on the project is he's pretty like, yeah, I'll be on Doomsday for sure. Tom Holland, there's a video of him at like an elementary school answering questions about Spider-Man for Brand New Day.
Yeah.
And this kid goes, is Tobey Maguire gonna be in your movie? He goes, nope, he won't be in this one. And they go, is it a different one? He goes, next question. Yeah, you go for it.
Are you serious?
It's like,
That's so funny.
yeah, literally. No, he's not in this one. No. It was like, all right.
That's awesome. Well, hey, dude, as we wrap up, such a good movie. It was so fun.
So good.
Yeah, loved it.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. As always, you can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, TikTok, anywhere you get podcasts. We are there. We are waiting.
What I've done. Go see a movie.
Go see a movie.